What's up, everybody? If you missed the last episode on the Supra, scroll down to it here on my YouTube channel just below. In that episode, we started talking about the challenges of building a fast and furious Supra, and this time we get into the specifics of the build and what's going to be realistic and what's going to hold us up.
Introducing Breakout, a free audio social app that lets your voice be heard. Collaborate and share with like-minded people and interact in real time. You can create rooms and collaborate with no censorship. We're an audio social network like no other. Users can set up rooms, create content, and turn their social media time into cash. You're already on social media, and now you can monetize while you're sharing, posting, and creating content. In fact, you're able to monetize in many different ways. The data from your content, your app interactions and activities is collected and stored in our B Vault, which you can sell on our market exchange. Link your other social handles to the Breakout app to compile even more data. With Breakout, data equals dollars for you, the user. Breakout lets you own your data and profit from it. Breakout also lets you create non-fungible tokens as yet another way to monetize. For example, you can create rooms or unique art through the Breakout app and turn them into non-fungible tokens that you can then sell on our market exchange. And of course, you can collaborate with companies and brands with sponsorship to monetize just like you do elsewhere. Best of all, you're always mic ready. Let's get ready to break out. Link up, speak up.
We've talked about it. It is here. It has arrived. We've already installed the hood.
That's it. That's exactly it. The chicken wire. Oh man, it even sounds the same. Yeah. The hood fits exactly like it was on my Supra.
Not perfect. Far from it.
No, it's not exactly consistent, but it's got about the, what is it, 4 mil, something like that?
Right. So this motor is coming out. We've already got plans for this motor, right? We've already got.
I said it 2JZ.
I know. You did indeed.
It's coming.
What?
So your 2JZ is sitting right over here, and we're going to show that to you in a minute. So we're going to keep these headlights on it.
Oh, that's a damn shame.
Or do you want to put the later model headlights on it? Because we can get the later model headlights.
Well, these you'd have to disassemble and clean them, inside.
No,
outside.
they need to be redone anyway.
Yeah.
So the big question is
I'd prefer to have that.
let's do those then.
Yeah.
We'll do
Those
those.
are way better than
Much more
This
attractive.
has the 97 tails already on
It does?
Yeah, the taillights are correct.
Yep. Okay. And they're in good shape.
Yeah.
And you're going to love this, Craig.
Toyota sells everything now.
All this molding, new quarter windows, all
Did
new
you buy it
rubbers.
yet?
I already
Oh, it
ordered
needs
it.
it.
Comes
Yeah.
next
Everything's
week.
dried out.
Everything's going to get replaced on this car. So what I love is the fact that we're not just literally ripping this car down. And you know what we're not going to do is we're not going to scuff and paint this car. This car is coming down to the metal, and we're going to do it right.
Let's see the inside. The steering wheel is proving difficult.
Yep, absolutely.
What steering wheel did you have?
Had a Sparco blue suede with 2 buttons built into it.
Okay, and the
Redo it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we'll do.
Holy
Bring back memories?
yeah, that I hated f***ing seats. No, you want to know why I bought the Supra? Somebody asked me this earlier. I'll tell you exactly why.
Yeah.
The cockpit.
It is a cool cockpit.
I've always been a fighter plane guy since I was 8 years old. I'm pretty sure in my previous life I was a fighter pilot that got shot down and died. Fortunately, I'm only a marginally better driver. Anyway, but this cockpit thing, and that's what killed it for me in the Mark V. If they had done this in the Mark V Supra, I would have considered it, despite the small size.
Wow.
Corvette took notes though.
Yeah, but it's Corvette. I'll never be that old or never be that hairy. So Corvette's not my cup of tea. But yeah, everything is right where it's supposed to be, and the armrest is broken like every one of these cars.
Absolutely.
Because everybody leans on it with their elbow to slide out.
All the rubber's going to be replaced.
So good.
All the glass, if the glass is damaged in any way, I'm going to replace it. I think we're in good shape on the side glass. The quarter window is going to be replaced. We're going to put a new windscreen in it.
These look like they might be able to be reconditioned, but they're a little rough. I don't know if what you're going to want to do with that.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can.
Because this got stitched by Stitchcraft, who just did Dave DeShane seats. The original, because the car was originally yellow, these speaker inserts were left yellow. I don't think we want to do that. Because this panel here where the speaker grill goes, the surrounding area, it's like an indentation in there. They left them yellow for the movie.
And now what about brakes?
AP still makes a 6-piston setup. That's 14-inch kit, but it's obviously not going to say still and 6 on it.
Right.
Do we go that route, or do we do?
You'll never find them. Dave DeShane.
No, I know.
Dave DeShane took years finding it.
But no, they make the kit.
They make
we
an
just,
AP Racing.
We just make a
6-piston.
sticker or a decal or
Have the
overlay
calipers redone.
that redo the calipers.
Okay, well,
You know.
I want to make this. Do you guys got a pen and pencil or something? So if we're looking at an oblique of the caliper going like this, you have a channel that goes like this. And in this channel is an applique. It is basically this. It's made out of silver. It looks like a matte silver kind of finish, and it says 6 still in red or something like that.
Yeah. I remember
This peels and stick. I'm sure it's temperature resistant, and
Must be.
and it fits in this little.
cutout.
It's not even a cutout. It's raised off of the caliper. It's not dug into the caliper.
What's on there now, or on the standard caliper?
Right
It's
now,
flat.
AP Racing.
So you grind it, or
Yeah, you'd have to.
It's
grind it.
actually it's part rounded. It's
protruding.
so
yeah.
it's like
On the
embossed.
caliper.
Yeah. So if you got
Yeah,
the caliper,
reverse
the
embossed.
caliper that goes like this,
So
know?
technical, reverse embossed.
raised.
raised.
Yeah. So it comes up, and then this decal sits down in this trough.
Nice.
So then, can I do that any way we want?
Sure.
Because I could
Bondo
do
it?
a Willwood 6-piston kit, so it has the shape, and then we could weld on an aluminum plate to that outer casing before.
What do you know about Willwoods? Are they any good?
Willwood's great.
Well, it's great. for
We've been
truck
using those
stuff.
for years.
Yeah, we've
Alright.
used the
Light,
Formula Car
yeah.
forever.
Does caliper look the same?
Yeah.
Very similar.
Super close.
Yeah.
Because then it's going to be recoated anyway, and then we get this badging. There's an awards store that we can have the badging made.
Temperature resistant and all that kind. Okay.
can find
you know,
out.
all right, you knock yourself out.
But I'm just saying,
this-
like, if
The
whether or
AP
not,
stuff is going to be expensive.
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's over $3,000, right?
Yeah, it's like $3,500
Yeah,
for their
it's a lot of
6-piston kit,
Yeah.
and it depends on what you choose rotor hat wise.
Mine was slotted and cross-drilled.
Okay. That exists for Willwood.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk
order
about
tomorrow.
wheels. Let's talk about wheels.
Dems were hard to find.
So these wheels, it's nice to see all the center caps and everything, and
Yeah.
this is correct.
Yeah.
This is all correct.
You're going to need a
Okay.
plastic tool off of eBay to get these caps off. You know that, right?
Well, okay, good to know. And of course the offsets are all wrong. These have the larger lip, right?
Much larger.
Yeah. So we've got pictures of the actual, your car, and we're going to use those pictures once we have the brakes on the car to determine exactly where
Yeah.
they're going to be placed.
It's going to be not as bad as I thought because they're only 7.5s.
And how what did you have?
But the lips are going to have to be, of course, bigger.
Right. So that's perfect.
Right.
Because if we go, we said we wanted to do 9s in the front. We need to see how they sit in terms of where the face is. But if we go to 1.5 inches wider in the front and then 2.5 inches wider in the back, that's going to be that staggered lip.
Yeah, I don't know what the offsets are.
This is my eyes. It's on your hand. 19 by 7.5.
Yeah,
But
43.
what's offset 43?
Yeah.
43.
I'll do
So-
the math on paper to figure out what we need to be less
the beauty-
aggressive than this.
The beauty of it is if we rebarrel them, we can.
It's just the face.
any
It's
offset.
the outer barrel.
Really?
Well, any offset is if we change outer and inner barrel to put the face.
I see
further
what you're
in,
saying. Yeah.
Now we're going to push the wheel out a little farther
Okay.
on this car because yours were in a little bit too far in my
They were
opinion.
in too far. It was dopey. Which is one of the things I really hate about that car.
We're going to push them out, but not as advanced. These are actually
About that?
this is way more aggressive.
Well,
So
because especially since we need to be on a different tire.
yeah.
255 front, 285 rear. We're running 245, 275.
Oh, geez. Okay.
we wanted the concave on that setup more so than the meaty tire.
We got our wheels. Now, wing. We've got this.
Okay, so what I did was, with silver paint, I marked where the holes should be for this. Okay, see the silver paint?
Yeah.
I looked at a reference picture.
Is this the right plate?
It needs to be bigger.
The scag needs to be bigger.
It needs to go down deeper. The shape is right,
Okay.
but it needs to be goes down further.
And then this will change this a little bit. This will probably come down here more.
It's just a longer angle.
Okay.
Longer.
Okay. But still adjustable like this.
Yeah, because these things, when it's done, this wing can the back end of this airfoil literally can touch this. It'll look almost seamless.
Oh, interesting.
So you're going to want to measure this, right, and see, because right now it'll probably be too far tucked in. If you just put the holes up here, right, maybe it has to go a little further forward.
Is this the right position? Because I see there's two different positions to mount this, the inner or the outer position.
As I recall, it was the inner position.
So it needs to go
You'll have
closer.
to look at the pictures again.
Okay.
It's been 20 years. And then the brackets were, you can see just like this, but it was an L bracket, completely square.
Right, we saw it.
Okay,
My guys are already working on replicating that.
Okay.
The body kit, Alex, where are we at on the body kit? It's in production?
It's on a boat
It's on a boat, which is probably
in the ocean.
in the
waiting
ocean,
to
sitting
enter
out
the
at
port.
Long Beach, along with about 80 other boats.
Is it that many now?
Have you gone over there? It's insane. Have you seen the
I try not to set foot north
Yeah.
of the Orange County line. The Gritty Power Extreme exhaust
Yep.
was like a 3.5. I don't think it was
I was actually looking that up yesterday to see if I could find any used ones.
yeah, good
Even
luck.
with the bash canister.
It had that oblique muffler.
It was,
That
it was a chunky muffler, almost like, well, back then Gritty had their Evo muffler.
That's what it was. It was one of those cans that went up at an angle like
Yeah.
this, right? That's how it was, and it was all one-piece polished stainless.
Okay.
That back section right there.
The middle section was that set.
And you didn't have coilovers, you just had springs.
Just had Ibach. I was working for Ibach at the time, so I had their sway bars and I had their Pro Kit.
Can we still get the sway bars? And the
I don't know
springs?
if they make them. Fucking sway bars is fucking sway bars.
All right, well, what about springs? You want to do coilovers or you want to do springs?
My
Are
advice:
we
do
gonna track it?
coilovers.
Yeah, we're going to track
We're
it.
gonna do that. Track
Coilovers because it's all about the height.
Yeah.
Okay, at that point, and if you want, you're going to do helper springs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Probably.
Okay, so
coilovers and helper springs.
if you do airbags, I'm off this project.
Nope.
If you stance that,
We're turning
lose
these
my
into...
number.
All right, let's show off the motor. Oddly enough, it came with an automatic transmission.
So be it. We'll pull everything off, take the turbos off.
Came with the computer.
Somebody needs the harness or.
This scar is from doing these turbos.
What's that?
This scar came from pulling the factory stock
Let's see that scar.
right there.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, there's the proof that he actually did something.
Yeah.
Right. This one is from my ex stabbing me with a knife.
Oh boy.
Well, it's a pretty good throw.
Well, we don't want to see anymore. Were you running cams in your car?
I don't remember. I
It
know
wasn't on the list.
on
but it had
the
cam
1,000
gears.
horsepower, I had cam gears, Grady cam gears. Yeah.
but no cams. Stock cams.
Yeah.
Stock cams.
On the 1,000 horsepower one, it already had cams when
Okay,
I bought
yes.
264s and 272s, as I
Okay.
recall, or something
Nice.
like that.
Yeah.
But that was a Ryan Moon motor.
Okay. Oh, that's a good motor.
Just no cams, just cam gears.
Okay, cam gears.
So was it stock internals? You did pistons, rods?
didn't do-
So it was just like bolt
Never
on
opened the motor.
The
Never
way
opened.
people
Not even
did
a
it
head
back
gasket.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was it was BPU.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then we put the big turbo on it. We just changed the fuel injectors. The cam gears were already on.
Was it laggy?
No, it came on about 4,200 RPMs. It would come on pretty aggressively.
Okay.
So on that T66, what boost were you running when it was movie 700 horsepower?
The good question. So it had the HKS, VPC, the GCC, the boost controller, and all that.
Oh,
the
man,
alphabets,
the
IPM.
5 different-
So you had one up here. I had like one thing
Yeah.
down here. I had two things in the glove box, and it was alphabet soup.
Sure
turn this-
was.
So we turned the boost down to probably 10 or 12 psi. Who knows what happened actually on set? I mean, when I
Oh.
did the burnout on PCH,
Uh-huh.
I left it where it was, and it did it just fine. But who knows what they were doing when I was not around? But they didn't break anything. Could be worse. My Maxima, they neutral slammed it.
Oh boy.
They did a neutral the burnout that he did. That's
Was
what
it out of the driveway?
I
out of the
remember
driveway.
that scene. Yeah.
That if you listen to it, he did it not down into low one. He put it into a drive because you hear the thing, and it downshifts back into
boy.
first
I
because it
remember
paused.
that.
Remember?
I remember that.
That was not edited.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh no, The original sound files on one of the videos I did, I posted the link to the original sound files. They'll still live on the internet, and you can listen to the raw.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
On our MK4, I did cams, but I did, essentially it moves the power band up, but I did that with the cam gears to offset and be able to adjust timing.
Yeah.
And we wanted a little bit of a choppy idle.
Now, this car is going to have air conditioning?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it works.
Because I'd be
right
out.
now. Yeah.
I know it works right now. Will it work
Dude.
right after?
You don't have to tell me about AC. There is not a car I will drive without AC.
Okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah, Daryl loves
Except
him
the
some
Hako.
AC.
The Hako is the only car that it will not have AC. Back to the build. Can we do cams? Can we do mild cams?
I was thinking about doing not 272s, but go to do like a Brian Crower 264, valve springs, retainers, oil pump.
Yep.
I'm gonna have it rev to 8 because why not? And it'll sound better. It'll make power the whole way through.
The whole way through.
The idea is to get this car all done and take it out to the track with you and let them teach you how to drift.
Oh,
I think it'd be fun.
My son is gonna fucking hate me, little.
But you know, it will be a great opportunity. Now, what we thought about doing is there is an entire drift angle kit that is a bolt-on kit. We thought about literally buying that entire kit and interchanging it. So when it's at the track for that track event, we may put some similar looking wheels that are not going to get damaged.
Right. These
so
are
that
you can't with those.
we can't ruin those.
You can't
So
ruin
what we thought about doing was getting an alternate set of wheels that look similar to those and put the angle kit on it so that it'll actually perform well enough.
You know what look really similar to those? Volk TE37s. No.
Hey, I'm TE37.
Goddamn
everything.
GTs.
Axis. Yeah.
Axis. That's
Yeah.
the same face as the old Axis wheels.
So
Do they still make those wheels?
No.
Well,
I'm just saying.
we'll find.
I'm sure somebody
We'll
makes
find
a cast,
suitable
cast wheel similar to
replica.
that,
Yeah,
You know who makes that? Boyd Coddington.
Well, we've got a lot more to do. So we can't really do much of anything with regard to body work until the engine comes out. Now, here's the thing. And you know, when we were sitting over there, I asked you, why did it have a black engine bay? And now I understand why. I don't want to paint the engine bay black. I want it to be orange like the rest of the car.
That's fine.
So I want to do it right. I want, you know, we're going to strip it all the way down, and the door's going to be off, the hood, the deck lid, you know, the bumpers, and we're going to paint everything in the booth separate. You know,
Well,
so
have we had more time back in the days? I mean,
That's what it-
once that car got back, it was going to shows, paid appearances, and all that kind of stuff. It was very rarely a weekend that I didn't have something going on except during the holidays with that car. And then when the offer came in to sell it, I was like, all right, it. I'm not going to repaint it back to another color.
Speaking of that, the CYM never had CYM engine bay.
No,
It was always black.
always.
Engine bay was always black.
Always
Once he painted it
Right.
on what car?
on the Supra.
Yeah.
The Supra.
No, I
Well,
understand.
the car got
So why
painted
would we do
yellow.
it
the-
orange?
Yeah.
Because we're not making it exact. I mean, it's a little different, right? We're putting cams in it. We're putting different brakes on it.
Well, stuff you can't
And
see.
and let's face it,
Is your
if they
argument
would
to
have
paint it black?
if they would have
Yeah.
had time,
because
well,
you
it's
did it
already
black on
black.
the yellow car.
But if they would have had more
And then it
time,
stayed
they would
black.
have painted it orange.
Oh, I think like paint it black. You're doing a yellow roll bar. So
Yeah, you're
keeping
doing
it
it.
15.
I know, but don't forget, no one ever had the hood open once the car was orange.
There's a case to, honestly, there's a case to be made either way, being honest. Absolutely a case to make it either way. I think we have to think also about the resale value. People are going to say, what the f***, I did a whole repaint on the car and we didn't do the engine bay.
That's an important point.
You know?
I want to do this right. And don't forget, we're going to document this entire build. Okay, so you guys, the idea of us doing this video is to really showcase how to properly build a replica movie car. And in doing that, we want to showcase the entire build, every aspect of it, going into the booth. And now we're going a little bit, we're taking that extra step. I mean, I think painting, and I agree with you, I think to the extent we're going with, I think having this car fully taken apart, engine bay painted to match the body, I think it will increase the value of the car. We haven't decided ultimately what we're going to do with this thing when it's done. And you know, that's something that we're going to talk about. But for now, we just want to really showcase how to do a movie car build and do it properly. And you're going to see us taking all of these photos. Now, the thing that's interesting is, you know, when Craig built this car, there wasn't a lot of time to take multiple pictures of it. And let's face it, the quality of cameras
sucked back then, man. They were
there's
terrible.
no quality. So there's very limited pictures available that he's even able to provide. In fact, every time I ask for something about brakes or something, you know what he sends me? He sends me a picture of a magazine article, and he said, here it is. And I'm like, Craig, he has no pictures.
You don't
nothing.
know that you're living through a historic moment until after it becomes history.
A historical moment.
Okay, so it's
Understood.
And I know what the car looks like. I don't need to have pictures.
So
of it.
so what we're going to do is I'm going to do all sorts of investigative work in the coming days. I'm going to take still shots of every camera angle used in the movie, and then of course all the magazines, and we're going to build a book binder, and we're going to use that as a reference guide to go back to make sure everything's in perfect order.
And as you said, there's going to have to be some compromises and some decisions. For example, talking about the engine bay being black, after the car was yellow, I did it black inside, took everything off the firewalls and then painted it, right?
Yeah.
And that's because I didn't want to see the white paint, right?
Yeah.
And then very quickly, Universal snatched up the car to use it for the movie, so they painted it orange. So it was in the paint shop for 4 weeks, which was a big delay for them. Meanwhile, they were building replicas. So there wasn't going to be time to take everything off the firewalls and paint the thing properly. So it came back with the black firewall.
I meant to ask you this too. This is something that these guys might want to know too. Was any of the replicas done before your car came out of the spray booth?
Were any of the cars built?
The other cars, were they completed before your car was out? Because that happens sometimes. That happened with when I did the Bayside
I'll tell you
Blue
this: a lot of them were painted orange already.
Right.
By the time we got back to graphic, I think I have pictures, and I sent you a couple of pictures. There's my car sitting there, and the Buck car was cut up already. The McRae car was already cut up. So I don't know exactly how many cars were. I think they all got painted pretty much at the same time.
Just curious. And again, the paint shop that did the other cars wasn't the same paint shop that did your car.
Right. Eddie Paul's team took it down the street, 2 blocks over from his building. There's a paint shop in there, so they scuff and buff.
Yeah, right.
And then paint them and bring them back in. And a lot of the pictures I had, there's a mix of pictures. Some of it during the cars when they were being made for Fast and Furious 1, and then I have other pictures where these cars came back to the picture car warehouse before we shipped them to Florida for Too Fast, Too Furious, because some of those cars went over there.
I keep forgetting that the cars were reused for that.
Some of them were.
Well, those were not yours.
Yeah, not mine. Mine was sold by that time.
Yeah.
I had the R34.
Okay, so
it's a lot of things.
There's a lot more things that I want to talk about, but we could do this in other videos. So one of the things that I want to do real quickly is we're going to wrap this video up here, and I just want to have you guys tune in. This is going to be on our channel, and of course Craig's going to push this up to his channel. We're going to be doing pretty regular updates as we buy new parts and as we get down the path on building this car. We're going to be very detail oriented on how we actually build this car. One of the things that I want to focus on is showing, all the specifics about what we do and the cost associated to doing it right. Because
you're going to quote prices.
It's going to be it's going to be surprising, but the stuff's not cheap. And
shocking is the word.
Yeah, shocking. Craig, what'd you sell the car for? Can you even say?
$185,000.
Really? And what year was that?
Late 2002 or early 2000.
How far after the movie ended?
So it would have been about a year later. There's pictures I've sent to you with the Skyline, the black Skyline, the Blackbird, that became the Paul Walker Too Fast, Too Furious car with the same cars in the driveway, all of them, the Maxima, the Supra, and the...
So the sale of the orange car really helped fund the money to purchase the GTR?
Not really.
No?
I already had the GTR.
Oh, you already had the GTR?
I already had it. It was $78,000 I paid for that car.
That's
the first Motorex car. I have
crazy.
If you watch if you watch my video, I show the actual receipt.
And
you want to know?
I remember.
Do you remember the Too Fast, Too Furious Skylines? I have the receipt and the
I saw that.
$192,000 for 4 R34s,
That's
including air freight. So stay tuned for the build. Daryl and I are going to be working together in this collab. He's going to get his fingernails way more dirty than I, and Alex dirtier than the both of us, but I'm looking forward to it. Stay tuned.